Barry Bryson, thanking you for joining me for another 5 good minutes in the Word. Today, we're going to be in John chapter 12 as we continue our series, Encounters with Jesus, and as we talk about the women that Jesus encountered in the Gospel of John. We're still in Bethany. We're still with Mary and Martha. It's later, not a lot later, but later in Jesus' ministry. And we're at the feast in Bethany, the week that Jesus died. This happens after the triumphal entry and of Jesus, which we know from the other Gospels, that final week. Jesus is evidently going back and forth between Bethany and Jerusalem that final week. He's already cleansed the temple. And the news of Jesus raising Lazarus is just excited everyone, to the point that the authorities not only want to kill Jesus, they want to kill Lazarus. So let's just read what happens at this feast. Chapter 12, verse 1, Jesus, therefore, 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, whom Jesus raised from the dead, and they made him a supper there, and Martha was serving, but Lazarus was one of those reclining at the table with him. Mary, therefore, took a pound of very costly, genuine spikenard ointment, and anointed the feet of Jesus, and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the fragrance of the ointment. Judas Iscariot, one of his disciples, who was intending to betray him, said, "Why was this ointment not sold for 300 denarii and given to poor people?" Now he said this not because he was concerned about the poor, but because he was a thief and had the money box and used to pilfer what was put into it. Jesus therefore said, "Leave her alone, in order that she may keep it for the day of my burial. The poor you always have with you, but you don't always have me." Well, this is an amazing thing that we're talking about. They're having a feast for Jesus. It's the week before Jesus is going to be crucified. Jesus knows this, but everybody else there is having a party because Jesus is the Messiah and the Messiah has come. And it seems like nobody else there understands what that means. Nobody except certainly one other person. One other person knows that Jesus is preparing for his death, and she's come to let him know that. Martha's there serving, of course. Lazarus is there eating around the table, and Mary comes in with a bottle of pure nard. Now, nard is this aromatic gum that is harvested from trees, from plants at the foot of the Himalaya mountains. It was traded all the way from India, through Arabia to Palestine. It was a year's wage to buy what she had purchased. It would have been diluted in order to be used in lots of perfume. Where did she get the money? I don't know, but she did. And we're told in the Synoptic Gospels that she broke the neck of the bottle so that it could not be saved up, it could not be used. And she poured it on Jesus' head and on his feet and was wiping her feet, we're told, his feet with her hair. It's an amazing thing. It's a very intimate thing, what she did. When we staged this for Vacation Bible School years ago, I said, we're going to have to get a husband and a wife because we're not going to get another woman to just wipe her hair on some man's stinky feet. And one of our ladies who was helping me put VBS together, she said, "No, you're going to have to find newlyweds because I'm certainly not wiping my husband's feet with my hair. You're going to have to get a young couple, and we did. And when we saw this happen, we saw it played out, we recreated it for the children, it was shocking. Because it's still shocking to see a woman wipe a man's feet with her hair. And how much more shocking was it then? But she did it. And she did it to say to Jesus, if nobody else here knows what's about to happen, I know what's about to happen. And that's exactly the way Jesus understood it. In fact, in Mark's gospel, Jesus says, wherever the gospel is preached, people are going to remember that she did this. I don't think we remember her as well as we ought. John did, because back in chapter 11, that's how he identified. When he introduced these sisters to us in John chapter 11, he said, "This is that Mary that I'm talking about." I wish we were all aware every day of what Jesus did for us as she was that day, when she anointed his head and his feet and wiped his feet with her hair and said to him, I know what's about to happen to you. How important was it to him? Who will in a few days say to his apostles, stay with me, I don't want to be alone? Who will say to his father, don't make me do this, let this cup pass? How important was him to know? Was it for him to know that on that night, when everybody else was so happy, someone else knew the clock was ticking and that it was all on his shoulders? Well, I hope we can all be as full of faith and as brave as these two women of Bethany are. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about Jesus at the cross and being a son of a mother again. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you